Hey guys, it's Sam here, and today I wanted to talk about last night's game that still has me a little bit confused and a little bit annoyed for pretty much a singular reason. But we'll get into that. We lost 2-1 to Man United. Now, that usually wouldn't be a problem. The fact is, Man United are so bad, it hurts. It hurts because they're so bad. The thing that hurts the most though is that there was no heart, there was no passion, there was no desire. They didn't try. We did not try. From minute one, we looked like the team shot of confidence, and they looked like the team that hadn't just got battered 4-0 by Brentford. Brighton and Brentford were able to outplay Man United, and we couldn't. Yes, we have a lot of injuries, but that team that Jurgen Klopp picked was miles better than Man United's, miles better than Brighton's, and miles better than Brentford's. And that team should have been able to beat Man United very comfortably. But they didn't, because they didn't try. If I'm not one of those people that expect us to win every game. I'm realistic. I know that's not possible. That's not going to happen. I know during the season you'll draw and you'll lose games. But as long as you give 100%, that's all I ask for. I can take losing if you give me 100%. Against Palace, I was a bit annoyed at the draw because we should have won that game, because we gave 100%. We tried from minute one to the final whistle. Against United, we tried for the last 15 minutes. We were already 2-0 down. Difference is Carvalho came on. Next, the thing that has to change from now until Saturday when we play Bournemouth is Fabio Carvalho has to start, because that lad has come on in the last few games and done brilliantly. And he came on whilst his team were 2-0 down at Old Trafford against Man United and changed it. The minute he came on, we looked stronger, we looked more attacking, we attacked them, which we hadn't done all game, and they didn't know what to do. They couldn't live with it. They were boxed in their own half for the last 15 minutes. If we'd done that at the start, this would have been a totally different game. We would have won easily. But we didn't, because we started slow again. 7 Premier League games in a row, we have now conceded first. 7 league games in a row, we have conceded first. It's not even about starting slow, because we conceded first against Palace and we didn't start slow. We started very quickly. It's just either we start slow and concede and that wakes us up for whatever reason, I don't know why, or we start fast, don't take our chances and concede. Again, I don't know why. This team has when there's injuries, this team doesn't know how to handle it. We saw that 2 seasons ago, when we just kept getting injury after injury, and all of a sudden we slipped all the way down the table, and we were, I think, at one point 9th, 8th. We were around there for quite a bit of the season, and that was towards the back end of the season. At least it's at the start of the season where you can kind of get away with it because there's so many games to go. We will get these players back, and then we'll start winning games again. But we have to learn to win when we have injuries. And for the most part, I have been saying, and I think I've said this on video as well in a few videos, I've said throughout the summer, I don't think we need a midfielder. I think we're set in midfield. We do not need a midfielder. This is not a midfield problem. I have now gone from saying we don't need a midfielder to now I don't know. I've changed it. I don't know. Because I don't know what's wrong at this moment. When I saw Carvalho come on, I saw a glimpse of the Liverpool I've known over the last few years. So that gave me a little bit of hope that we already have that player there, so maybe we don't need one. But then it's like, are we really resting on a 19-year-old to save us? That we can't put, like Harvey Elliott as well, I think they're both 19. They're around there, they're very young anyway. Are we really resting on Harvey Elliott and Carvalho to save our season? To win us trophies, to win us the Prem, to win us the Champions League? Because Naby Keita's always injured. He spent the most of his Liverpool career, I think 90% of his Liverpool career he's been injured. It's not a surprise anymore when he's not in the squad. It is a surprise when he is in the squad, because I expect him to be injured all the time. So that is not good. Thiago's muscles are made of glass. They break every 10 minutes. So that isn't great. Oxlade-Chamberlain, we know he's injury prone. We've known that since we signed him. Joel Matip, he's also pretty injury prone. We know that. Kanate, unfortunate. I don't see him getting injured a lot. I think that's unfortunate. I think he'll come back and I think he'll be fit for the rest of the season. At least I hope. Because I don't know what's happened to our defence. Van Dijk, for some reason, has lost composure at the back. At fault for Fulham. At fault for Palace. At fault for at least the first goal. I've not seen... I didn't see the second goal, but to be honest, I've not seen them back. Because the minute that game finished, I couldn't do it. I was like, thank fuck that's over. Get me off. I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm not watching it back. I've not watched it back, so I'm going off memory. If you know me, I've got a terrible memory. So this is causing me a lot of brain power to try and remember. But a lot of it I can't remember. I'm not completely gone in my mind. I still have memory. You know, I just need to focus more. That's what I need. I just have a terrible memory, which is actually, I have heard, quite common to have terrible memory. So, at least I'm not an odd one out. But, where was I? Yeah, Van Dijk. Like, I get why he puts his hand behind his back. Because obviously handball makes it a lot harder. And it's like, if it hits his hand, if it hits his arm, he can say, my hands are behind my back, I've not moved them, I've not tried anything. So that's the smart one. Why does he bend down? Why do you bend down? That bit I don't get. He bends down, sticks his arse out, and he's like, go on then. Like, you're not tied up getting ready to be spanked, lad. You're defending the ball. Like, put your body in. Do that, but put your body in the way. Stick a leg out. If it hits your leg and deflects in the net, fair enough. But at least you've done something. It's better than just stood there doing that. That's not defending. I don't know where he got that from, and I don't know why he started doing it. I don't know why all of a sudden he can't defend. I don't know what's gone on. That has to be addressed. I know Milner had a right go at him when we conceded, and hopefully that's fucking put him into gear now, and he'll go back to the defender he was. Otherwise, if he's lost it, we are back to the defensive worries we had before we got Van Dijk. With Van Dijk in the squad, and that we never thought was possible. I don't know, maybe he's just going through a phase. I don't know. I hope it's a phase. I hope he gets out of it, and I hope he can defend again. Because that is not defending. But yeah, like I said, the bright spark was Carvalho. Massive, massive player. Has a bright future. And does need to start against Bournemouth. Because he's proved it. You know, Milner was... It's hard to pick individuals because the whole team was pretty much piss poor. But Milner didn't really offer much. Henderson was very hit and miss. And Elliott was a bright spark in the first half. But I think kind of went off in the second half. Didn't really add more. Which I kind of want from a midfielder. But yeah, that didn't go too well. Trent was one of the worst performances I've seen from him since he was 17, 18, first coming into the team a few years ago. I've not seen him have that bad of a performance. Like, back then, you were like, alright, you're young, you're getting used to the league, you're getting used to everything. He's still young at 23, I think he is now. He's still young, but the fact that he's played for now quite a few years, he's now considered a quite experienced player. These are the simple mistakes you shouldn't be making when you've got that experience he has, even at a young age like him. It was simple. Every ball down the right, they were getting through. And sometimes Gomez had to come across, defend. And obviously either win the ball or clear the ball, which you can say is, you know, he's done his job. That's what he's there to do. He's there to defend, and the fact that he's a right centre back, he's there to cover Trent. But not every time. And plus, even when he was he just got battered down that right hand side all night. There was no change at half time. There was no... He didn't change for the second half. He still got battered down the right hand side. And there was no changes at half time made, which I thought probably would have been a better option. 1-0 down, midfield clearly not doing great. I would have took Milner off, put Fabinho in, for him CDM, Henderson move further forward, and see how that does for the first 15 minutes. Then you can bring Carvalho on, whatever. But look, I don't know. We don't know why, but that just is how Jurgen Klopp felt the team should have been. We can argue this for days, weeks, months. We can all have different opinions on it. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions on it. It is what it is. And there are obviously the very slim-minded, very idiotic people that say Klopp out. Now, obviously these are people that maybe have short-term memory loss. Because Jurgen Klopp is the best thing to happen to Liverpool, I would say, since Bob Paisley. And I don't think I'm the only one in saying that. That man changed Liverpool, because when he came in, we were worse than that. We saw that type of performance, if not worse than that type of performance, week in, week out. Under Roy Hodgson, under Kenny, as much as I loved Kenny, as much as I wanted him to stay, because he won us the Carling Cup, got us to an FA Cup final, I was like, he should stay. Yes, he did well in the Cup. His Premier League performances weren't great. I think we finished 7th. But I still think he should have been given another year. Went for Rodgers, ultimately did not work. Failed. And we saw those type of performances under Rodgers as well. Jurgen Klopp came in and changed it. Changed everything. And he got Liverpool back to winning trophies. We've won a trophy this season. We have won it. Say what you want about the Community Shield. That is the first trophy of the season. It is. You can say what you want. Say it's only a friendly. It's the first trophy of the season. The reason it starts roughly about a week before the season. It classes as the first trophy of the season. So, we have already won one this season. We won 2 last season. Season before, we won 0. Season before that, we won 3. Won the Prem, won the Super Cup, and won the Club World Cup. And then obviously, season before that, won the Champions League. So, in the last, 4 seasons, there was only one season we didn't win a single trophy. 1. And that was an injury-riddled season, from start to finish. It has picked up again this season. We have had another injury-riddled season. However, this time, we're at the start of the season. Hopefully, this is where it stops. Those players come back. We don't have another injury-riddled season. And we can pick up and start performing to the levels we know we can. But if you what Jurgen Klopp said after the game, I feel like has maybe pushed for a midfield signing, because about a week ago he said if the right midfielder was available, we would have got him by now. You know, we're done. Probably not going to sign a midfielder. After the game, he was asked again about midfield signings, and he kind of changed. He didn't say we're done. He didn't say anything like that. It sort of changed. I think before the Man United game, he said, you know, I'm not in charge of what we spend. Which makes you believe he might want a midfielder, but maybe FSG either aren't willing to spend anymore because they've spent almost 100 mil, or the money that these clubs want for the midfielders we want is too much. The FSG are like, look, we've already spent up to 85 million on one player this window. We don't want to spend like more than that in the same window. Who knows? I don't know what they're thinking. We don't know, because they don't talk about finances, so who knows. After the game, it did change. I can't remember word for word what he said, but it was like, if we do it, it's not, look, we're probably not, it was an if. It changes. So I feel like there may have been words upstairs. Either Jurgen Klopp has gone, look, we're short in midfield. Those midfielders aren't going to be back for a few weeks. Maybe, just maybe, we get someone in for the short term. Even if it's a short loan till January, because that's what we did with Kabak. January, short loan to the end of a season. Kind of worked, even though by the end of the season we were playing Phillips and Reece Williams, so didn't really matter there. But even if it's just short loan till January to get Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Naby Keita, all back fit, all ready to play again, and then you can make your mind in January what happens then. Do it. Because I don't feel like yes, you can never prepare for having so many injuries. You know, during a season you are more likely to get injuries, but no one can prepare you for getting injuries, a lot of injuries, all at the same time, and a lot of them in the same position. That's why a lot of people criticised us. A lot of people criticised the club for not replacing Lovren, and that's why, you know, they felt we were short at centre back, and everyone was like, well, if we had another one. But you can't really prepare for that. We weren't short in midfield, we had plenty of midfielders. Just so happens 4 of them are injured all at the same time. Unfortunate, you can't really prepare for that. But there are still days left in the window. It could happen, it could not. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be too bothered, because those players will come back and we will eventually get our groove again. If it happens, then I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm going to be quite happy to see another face through the door, and hopefully he can provide us with a bit more energy and a bit more desire whilst those players are out injured. Only there is a big problem that we seem to rely on Thiago for a lot of our creativity, and then when he's injured, obviously that creativity goes to the window because he's not there. I did see creativity from Fabio Carvalho. He doesn't pass like Thiago. No, he doesn't have that yet. I feel like he might. He will learn, he will grow, he will get better, which is freaky because he's already very good, as we've seen when he's come off the bench, changed the game, like I said, against United, which, I mean, you could say it wasn't difficult to change the game, all you had to do was run and you would have changed the game, but that's the difference between young players. They are very hungry, especially Carvalho, who's just signed for the club. He's desperate to make an impact, he's desperate to prove himself at this level and at this club. And I think so far he's doing that. And he was close to scoring against Palace. He deserves a start. I can't be the only one that's seen it. If Jurgen Klopp has seen what we've seen, that man starts on Saturday. The only difference is I don't think it is, because Jurgen Klopp apparently has seen a completely different game to us. I don't think we did enough to win the game. We did a bit in the last 15 minutes, but that was about it. Jurgen Klopp has seen differently. In his opinion, we should have won that game. In his opinion, we were back to the way we wanted to play, apparently, after we went 1-0 down. I will say, after we went 1-0 down, we woke up a bit. But I've seen us play miles better than any of that whole game. Even in the last 15 minutes, it was better, but it wasn't hard to be better because we were so bad for the previous 75. It wasn't difficult to be better in the final 15, because the previous 75 you barely done anything. So, I mean, I don't know. I just hope that they watch it, they see what they did wrong, they fix it for Bournemouth, because we know how Bournemouth are going to play. They're coming to Anfield, they'll stick 11 men behind the ball and just go, break us. Just break us. And if you can't, we'll hit you on the counter-attack. That's what they'll do. The problem is, they will have... It will look like they came to attack, because a high line will cause a lot of problems. Again, ball over the top, they'll break quite a few times. Some of them will be offside, some of them won't, and it will look like they actually came to play. However, we'll all know they came to play to just sit back, defend, take a point. They're happy with that. What the game plan will be all week: just sit back, defend, try and keep it 0-0 for as long as possible. That should be the game we break this curse of conceding first. If that game makes it 8 league games in a row of conceding first, I may flip a table into my own head. Because how? Bournemouth is shit. How do you concede to Bournemouth? Oh no, Man City, easy. It was so easy for them against Bournemouth. 4-0, simple. If we want to even have hope of challenging City, yes, we need to beat them, but we also need to beat the other teams as well. But this is Liverpool, and we don't do things easy. We never have done. Which means on Saturday he's not going to finish 4-0. I still think we'll win, but it'll probably finish 2-1. And we'll be in a little bit of a tricky patch for a portion of the game. But anyway, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I know we grew up a little too fast. I miss the days that we chill and relax. Where did the time go? It all passed, now I need to go back. I had no worries but always had plans. The only thing I did was dig out the trash. Now it's much harder to laugh, hard to get up and not work on my craft. I need inspiration, don't need no validation, no more medication.